I've been trying to be real calm with this. I ain't had no reason to yell, but I'm gonna be so honest. I have never seen a lazier generation of men in my life. I mean, every generation had their struggles. But this generation of men, of guys, because it ain't men, it can't be, are lazy. Y'all leave it up to women to do everything. She want to hear from you, guess what? She got to call you. She want a little text, a little good morning text, guess what? She got to do that too. If you want to talk to me, why don't you just call me? If you want to see me, why don't you just say so? When are you going to initiate something for a woman that you claim to like? Because stuff like that make me go up out of here. Then I start to act like I don't care. Then I start to actually not care. What are we doing? When do y'all initiate a date? When do y'all plan a date? When do you say, hey, just be ready? Y'all don't do that no more. What is going on? You're making me lose my mind. Y'all are so lazy.
My thing with this video is like this is what y'all get wrong nowadays, and that's for everyone, men and women. Some people seem to think like degrading someone, calling them names is the way to make them change. So this video, right, apart from the fact that you're screaming, which I don't know why you're screaming, but anyway, calling men lazy or calling anyone, people in general, that's not the way to get anyone to do anything or to change. That's insulting them. Nowhere ever. Unless you're talking to a child, which that's actually mistreating them. I don't want to say the ABU word, but unless you're talking to a child, like the child will change their behavior because they're scared of you. But anyone who's not a child and you're insulting them, calling them lazy, calling them names of any kind, if that person listens to you, then they don't have any backbone. And the way you're speaking, you want a man, right? A real man. She's calling men lazy. She's saying, oh, I don't even see them as men, so I'm not even gonna call them men. I don't understand what's going on. Aside from that, the screaming, it means you're frustrated. How did it come to that? Like, if you're frustrated, that means you allowed a bunch of other people in your past to waste your time. And now that you want something serious, okay, and it's not happening, you're frustrated now. That's the problem. Another thing I got from this video is saying that men won't even text you first, men won't even do that and the third, even saying hello, the women have to do it first. Well, the fact of the matter is, you wanted to be Miss Independent. You wanted for men and women to be the same, equal treatment, right? Well, there you go. That's equal treatment. Equal treatment means the same way a man can initiate a call, initiate a hello, initiate anything, you can too. So that's where we're at right now.
Turn off your TV and listen in, because this one's gonna be a good one. So it starts off with me matching with this guy on Tinder. Now, you're gonna start by saying, Sarah, why the fuck are you going on a date with a guy that you matched with on Tinder? And I would start by saying, where else am I supposed to find them? I've looked left and right, and I've yet to find someone that attracts me and my personality. Every single man I have gone on a date with, it's always been a flunk. So I've started to resort to Tinder because the men out here, they suck. For the sake of his person,
my thing with
grab a bucket of popcorn.
My thing with this video is like the way you view men, the way you view people have a lot to do with how you're treated and obviously how you speak. And the way you speak, it kind of like brings that energy back to you. So you talking about men are just, they suck and all that jazz and all of that. What energy do you want to come back to you?
His personality, I'm going to be giving him a different name, but if he does find this, he will know it's about him, so there's really no saving it. But let's call him George, okay? So I go on a date with George, 27, we go to a Chuck's, okay? I am on my way to this date and I'm already not in the mood to be going on a date, and I'm in a really fuck ass
Okay.
mood. Like, I'm not.
So with this part of the video, right? You're not in the mood. You're not in the mood to go on a date, right? So you shouldn't go. You shouldn't go. Postpone it. Again, with energy. I'm a big energy person. The energy you bring to the date is gonna really make you short-sighted. Like, you're not gonna have enough patience, okay? And you're gonna bring that nasty behavior, that nasty character to the date. Like, I have never been in a bad mood when I'm going on a date. Mind you, I'm married, right? But when I was dating, if I'm not feeling good, I don't go on that date, because dating is supposed to be fun. I think y'all forget that.
In the mood to be socializing with somebody that I've literally never spoken to in my entire life. So keep that in mind when being told this story, because it's important to know that I was in a god-awful mood and I didn't even want to be there to begin with. For starters, I get out of my car, I walk toward the restaurant, he's waiting outside. This man looks nothing like his photos. And when I
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that's terrible. Like, catfishing is real. And either men or women, don't do that. Like, upload a recent picture, okay? And also, too, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're wasting your own time, because when you show up as different, the person will never see you again. Unless what you wanted to get out of that for your self-esteem was to be able to get a date, like one date is good enough for you, and you want to go to like 10 date every week, that's fine. But again, you're wasting the other person's time, okay? So you want to feel good about yourself. You want for someone to want to date you because they actually want you, not because they wanted you from back then, okay? So you're wasting your time and the other person's time.
say that I was catfished, I don't mean that it was like a different person or like he was literally like fugly. It just was not a clear representation of who he was, like physically, like as a person. So I was already like, great. This man smiles at me, and this man has at least a mile gap between each of his 4 front teeth. I stopped dead in my tracks. Now I know I got a tooth gap. I could have fit 18 of these teeth gaps in his tooth gap. An immediate no for me. Maybe some of you liked those kinds of teeth. Me, however, I spent $7,000 on my teeth. I want someone else that spent $7,000 on their teeth. So I'm already mentally noting that I probably won't be seeing this guy again because I'm not physically attracted to him, but obviously I'm going to give the date a chance in case he's like one of the best people I've ever met, and looks don't always matter. In this situation, they did. So we get inside and he doesn't hold the door open for me. He opens the door for himself and lets it go. And I was like, mental note.
Okay, my thing with that, ladies, is that when you're on a date and you're not having fun, with this example, right? The guy opens the door for himself and let it, kind of like almost hit the woman in the face. Why do you stay on the date? Like, what's going on? Because it couldn't be me. The moment, first of all, you show up, you're not even looking like yourself. I'm gonna tell you, you look very different from your pictures, so I'm not comfortable. I'm leaving. This is the end of the date. But let's just say you didn't want to talk about the person's look, right? And that's fine. Mention the fact that they didn't hold the door open for you. I'm pretty sure they'll understand that. So why do y'all stay for longer than you should? Comment below.
Down, not seeing this man ever. Waiting for the hostess to come. There's not a word, syllable, pronunciation of any type of vowel that this man speaks to me. He doesn't say hi. He doesn't say how are you. He doesn't say a single goddamn thing. And I was like, cool. Am I holding you hostage to be here? Why are you acting like this is against your free will? You asked me on this date.
Right.
Like, so the hostess comes over. She says, you can sit anywhere. It's not that busy. She brings us over to a booth section. He goes, which booth do you want to sit in? There's 2. I go, doesn't matter. You pick. And he goes, no, you. Okay. So I pick a booth because this man can't make a decision for himself at the ripe age of 27. No, for sure. I love it. So I go, oh, like, did you work today? He goes, no. Okay. I go, oh, okay, what do you do?
No way.
He goes, pest control. Bitch, you are the pest.
Right.
Speak. Speak freely, please. Because I feel like I'm holding a gun under the table at you to be here.
I would have been left.
I go, oh, that's nice. How do you like it? He goes, well, I also am an arborist. I felt like I was pulling teeth. Like, it was actually so awkward. This man,
that's
like,
crazy.
I was holding him against his will to be there. There was no other way to describe it
That's
other than that.
crazy,
Because,
no.
like, that is exactly how he was acting. So, because this man's not asking me anything, I'm like, well, I guess I'll just learn everything about this man that there is to know. I go, so is there, like, anything that you like to do in your spare time? Like, other than, like, your job? Like, do you have any hobbies? And he goes, well, I do martial arts. Of course you fucking do. Of course you do.
So you're on a date, the man never ask you about yourself or anything that you do or anything like that, and you still are seated. Comment below if that's ever happened to you, and what was the thought process behind staying on a date? Like, were you afraid that he might harm you? That's A. Or B, were you just bored and you wanted to be out and you're already there, already dressed up, already have your makeup on, so you've decided to just stay? Or C, you feel pity for the person and you don't want to make them feel bad? Like, what is it? I really want to know the mindset behind it, y'all. Help me understand.
Martial arts. The dying sport, might I add. And for anybody that's going to come for me in the comments, I live in a town where I don't even think there's a place to do martial arts. So maybe it's not a dying sport where you are, but it is where I am. Now, I must have piqued one of this man's special interests, because as soon as he brought up martial arts, this man did not stop talking for the rest of the date. And when I tell you he did not stop talking, he told me about all of the differences between each individual mixed martial art. I'm gonna ask you, does it look like me? I give a fuck about the difference between Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu. Please tell me. Because I'm going to tell you from my personal experience, I don't. I don't even watch the fights when they come on. I only watch them if it's somebody I give a fuck about. And when I say give a fuck about, Patty the Batty, and I like to watch Jake Paul lose. Okay? So, this man's going on about this, that, and the other, and I have no idea what he's talking about, and I'm just, absolutely, because I'm the type of person that I'm gonna fake it till I make it, and then I'm never gonna talk to him again, because he should pick up that this was the worst date ever. Now, it's important that I also note that this man didn't ask me a single question about myself. He went on to tell me every single thing about him, all of his siblings, and his school, and his hobbies, and work, and I don't think this man even knew how old I was, because he didn't ask. This man didn't ask me anything. When I said, how's work? He straight up said, I didn't work today, or whatever the fuck.
And yet you stayed on the date though. So yeah, he's wrong in terms of he doesn't know how to hold a conversation, and he is full of himself. He's either full of himself or he's just really shy and he doesn't have any social cues. But you stayed though. You stayed.
Like, he didn't say, oh, how was work for you? Or did you work today? Or what do you do? Or nothing. I got not a single question. This man might not even know my name, for all I know. I don't think he said my name once.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. So we go on to finish our calamari, finish our beer. The waitress comes over and asks if we're grabbing anything more, if we want the bill. He ends up paying, which was super kind of him, obviously. I didn't even bring my wallet, so I was hoping and praying that man had that on lock.
And ladies, this is one thing you should never do. Never go on a date without some form of payment, because you never know if the person is gonna pay for you. You never know if you're not gonna end up having to wash dishes. I don't know if that's still a thing anymore, but just because of your self-esteem, like, don't just go out there like a 2-year-old with no form of payment. Don't do that. It's 2026. You're a big girl. You know, be able to back yourself up and protect yourself in any situation. Never stay at the mercy of a man, of any human being for that matter, but especially a man.
We get ready to leave. He's still talking about martial arts and telling me that he wants to teach me and it would be so fun for me to learn and all this fun stuff. And I was like, well, it was really nice meeting you. And he was like, yeah, you too. And that was it. And that was the last I ever saw of him because he hasn't texted me. Not that I'm offended. I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay, but I just really want to come on here and share that story with everyone that men are the same everywhere. And it doesn't get better. And I've given up hope. Good.
My thing with this story is like there's another side to it, right? There's the side where she could have been like,
Being friends.
oh, you know, I see that you're very interested in martial arts. My hobbies are this. Because maybe he doesn't have the social cues to know that he has to ask, but she didn't share, you know, what she shared about herself after the guy, you know, was done talking, you know. After you inject yourself like twice, then you can, you know, conclude like, oh, okay, this person is just not a conversationalist, they just don't have any social cues, or they're just not interested in me, you know. Or you could have straight, you know, right off the bat just ask him, hey, I noticed you haven't asked me anything, are you interested in me? Do you want to be here? Like, being direct sometimes is really important, you guys. So let me know what you thought of that story. Let me know, has that ever happened to you on a date where, you know, you're talking and, you know, you're asking all the questions and the person is not, you know, engaging in your life whatsoever? Like and subscribe, and I post every day, you know, those reaction videos. Just let me know what you thought of the video, let me know if you've ever had any experience, and also like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.